Hello viewers, this Dow Too Fast here. In this video I'll show you a really cool device that many of you will want to get if you own a Honda or Acura vehicle. If you have a 2016 and newer Honda or Acura vehicle and is equipped with the auto engine stop feature, then you know how annoying it is to have the engine shut off each time the car comes to a stop and start back up when you release the brake pedal. If you're in a stop and go traffic, the engine will stop and start continuously. All this adds to the wear of your starter, engine, and car battery. Well, in this video, I'll show you a device that will automatically turn off the auto idle stop feature each time you start your vehicle. This device is the Idlestopper. I'll go over how this device works, and I'll show you how to install it in my 2019 Honda Odyssey. Now make sure you watch till the end because I have a discount code that you will only find on this channel. So let's get started. Before I show you the Idlestopper, I want to take a minute to talk about the auto idle stop feature on these newer vehicles. If you own one of these vehicles, you might have noticed the auto idle stop feature sometimes will activate and sometimes not. The reason is because it will only activate under a very specific set of conditions. If the fan speed is too high, or the cabin temperature is too low, or if the altitude is too high, then the idle stop will not activate. And when the system does activate and the engine stops, it relies on the car battery to power everything in the vehicle. So it requires a special deep cycle AGM battery that can handle the constant stop-start function. And these batteries cost more than the regular flooded battery. Now the auto idle stop feature on the vehicle is always enabled. You cannot permanently disable the feature. The only workaround is for you to manually push the auto idle stop button in the vehicle while you're driving. There's a company called Idlestopper that have come out with a device that will automatically turn off the auto idle stop feature each time you start your vehicle. And here it is. This is the Idlestopper device. Let me show you what you get when you order the Idlestopper. Right here is the Idlestopper device. Zip tie. An extra wire tap. On the back you can scan the QR code to watch instructional videos. Also tells you it's designed and manufactured in the USA. Here's some installation tapes. Let's have a look at this. Now this box does need 12 volt to operate, and to provide the 12 volt power source, you need to plug these two connectors in line with the car's cigarette lighter 12 volt accessory port. During the installation, I'll need to disconnect the connector, go into the cigarette lighter 12 volt accessory port, and then plug these two connectors in between it. So when you start the vehicle, this box will get 12 volt. Once this box is powered on, after about 5 seconds, this box will send a signal out onto this yellow wire that needs to be connected to the car's auto idle stop button. The signal it sends out will simulate the auto idle stop button being pressed and turn off the auto idle stop function. So each time you start the car, the Idlestopper will do this for you automatically. Now even with this device installed, you can still manually press the auto idle stop button and toggle the feature on and off. So this device does not change or modify the way the auto idle stop feature works. It doesn't modify your car's computer or permanently disable the feature. All it's really doing is simulating you pressing the button shortly after you start your vehicle. So let's take this to the vehicle. I'll show you how to install it, and I'll test it out to see how well it works. To do this install, I'll need to get access to the wiring harness behind this auto stop button. I'll also need to get access to a wiring harness behind this cigarette lighter 12 volt accessory port right here. I'll start by pulling back these two side panels that you see right here. Now if you have floor mats in your vehicle, it might be easier if you first remove these floor mats so you can take these panels off. With the side panels, pull it outwards. With the two side panels released, now you can pull back on this panel. Next, remove a bolt behind this hanger on the passenger side. Use a plastic pry tool to pop open the cover on this hanger. Next, remove this 8mm bolt. On the driver's side, underneath the steering column, pull back on this panel. Looking at the center console below this power outlet, if If I pull back this panel, you'll see there are two Phillips screws, one over here and one on the other side. Go ahead and remove these two Phillips screws. Now with this center console piece, you can put your finger underneath and lift it up slightly. Now you put your finger behind this panel and pull it off. Let me show you all the clips on this piece. There are 3 clips on the side. 1, 2, and 3. 3 more in the middle here. And 3 clips on the side right here. Right here is a 12-volt power outlet. Next, disconnect this connector right here. Push this tab in. And pull it off. On the Idlestopper, take this connector with a red and black wire. And plug it in to a 12-volt accessory outlet. Take the other end and plug into the wiring harness that you disconnected. With the connector connected, you see the contacts exposed. Now this connector is pushed all the way. What you want to do is take this tape that comes with the Idlestopper kit and wrap it around the contacts here. Next, I need to disconnect the connector behind the switch. I'll bring the camera underneath so you can see the connector. Here's a look at the connector that I need to disconnect. Now you're going to have to do this by feel. Put your hand behind the connector and there's a push tab that you have to push this way. Push in that tab and then pull that connector out. And here it is. And that plastic tab that I pushed is right here. Here's a close-up look at this connector. And the wire you want to tap is this yellow wire right here. Now this yellow wire from the Idlestopper, at the end of this wire, you have this T-tap. And to use this, what you want to do is open up this end right here. There's a little clip. Here you see it open up. What you want to do is take that yellow wire and put it into the T-tap like this, and then close it up. Use pliers and squeeze the end. And then reconnect the connector. Now because you're doing this by feel, it might take a few minutes, but eventually you'll find where the connector needs to go, and then you reconnect it. Now before I close everything up, I'm going to start the car and make sure it works. And there it is. You see the auto stop lights on? That tells you the idle stop is disabled. Now turn it off. So now it's time to clean up the wiring. Now to keep this insulation tape from coming off, I'll put a tie wrap around it. Next I'll route the yellow wire around the side right here. I'm just going to clean up the wiring with some tie wraps. With the Idlestopper device, I'm going to use some 3M double-sided tape and then stick this right behind this center panel right here. Now you can reassemble all the panels. Reinstall 2 Phillips screws. We installed 8mm bolt on the hanger. And that's it, everything's back together. With everything put back together, let's test it out. Start the car. Give it about 5 seconds, and you will see the auto idle stop indicator turn on, and that tells you the auto idle stop feature is disabled. Now I can press the auto idle stop button to enable it and turn it back on. I'll press it now. As you can see, now it's enabled. I'll press it again to turn it off. The auto idle stop button still works. You can still manually turn it on and off while you're driving. Now as you can see, the Idlestopper device does not permanently disable the auto stop feature. All it's really doing is simulating you pushing the button every time you start a car. And if you do want it on, just press the auto stop button on the dash and it'll be turned back on. So the logic here is kind of reversed from what it was before. Before we installed Idlestopper, normally when you start your car, the auto stop feature is always on. But now with the Idlestopper installed, every time you start a car, the auto stop feature is turned off. And if you want to turn it on, press a button and it'll be back on. So for those of you who have a Honda Odyssey and you want to turn off the auto stop feature when you start a car, you can pick up this Idlestopper device, install it, and not have to deal with the auto stop feature anymore. Also, seeing how this was installed, if you ever want to remove it, it's not difficult at all. Just remove the yellow wire and reconnect the power connector. Now the retail price of this device is $80, and I'll include the link below to where you can get it. I'll also include a discount code you can use to get additional savings. Now the company Idlestopper do make this device for other Honda vehicles and Acura vehicles. So check out their website to see what application they have. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you have any questions or comments, leave one in the comment section. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching this video. To support this channel, remember to click on thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notification bell so you get notified of new videos.